Welcome to episode 63 of Let's Play Civilization III, the Colonization map. As you know, we are now at war with the great Chinese Empire, as well as the smaller but still dangerous Japanese Empire. This is the first true world war in this game, and as such, we must prepare for this conflict with great determination. I present to you Babylon Battle Plan 1030. The very first thing we must do is set our production to wartime mode and have all our cities switch to military production. We must reserve our treasury for the upgrades of military units, though it might be necessary to increase entertainment to keep our citizens happy during the war. We must get other countries to join the war effort. England, Ottomans, and Korea all have trade agreements with China, which will make it very difficult to bribe them to our side, but we will try anyway. Our best bet is to ally ourselves with France and Russia, who intelligence suggests are the third and fourth strongest military powers, respectively, after us and China. We will research computers soon, and then we will use our treasury to upgrade all our infantry to mech infantry. Then we will work towards attaining modern armor. After that, we will research stealth, so that we may attain powerful long-range stealth bombers. Any other scientific concern is secondary. In the westernmost front of the war, we must capture the cities of Munich and Delphi to prevent the enemy from gaining an access point to our main empire. Delphi is of particular importance. We may ignore Munich and let the French and Russians attack it and focus all our efforts on Delphi, with the Russians possibly helping. This carrier group here will help with that attack. In the main front of our war, we will need to fill Southeast Ottoman with bombers to attack western China, weakening their industrial base and inflicting heavy casualties. At the same time, we must secure the frontier by fortifying our border cities with defensive units and artillery. When we can, we should launch an attack on Nara, giving us access to the Pacific Ocean and cutting off Japan's supply of coal. Spain might prove the hardest part of our empire to defend. If we are unable to defend it all, we will sacrifice southeastern Spain in favor of the northwestern cities of Murcia and Santiago. From these cities, bombers can strike at most of southern China, including the capital city of Beijing. Also, taking out mainland China's only source of rubber is a priority. On the continent of New Babylon, our first objective is to take all Chinese territory on the continent. Once the continent is clear from enemy forces, New Babylon will become a war factory for the efforts in the Old World and Lincoln Land, as well as launching amphibious attacks in the islands region. The island of Anyang and its source of rubber are a priority for us once New Babylon is clear of enemies. This is our first priority among the islands. In Lincoln Land, our forces are meager and stretched out, and several cities are vulnerable to Chinese attack. Once we secure these cities, we must capture Tatung, because not only is it close to our other cities and it makes it vulnerable, but we must also cut off China from that source of coal. These Lincoln Land Chinese cities are very vulnerable to us and should be taken as soon as the more pressing New Babylon and Lincoln Land objectives have been met. This will deny the Chinese that source of forces and a chance to get a road to that source of coal. Finally, these far western Chinese cities do not pose much of a threat now, but there are several resources in this area we cannot let them attain. Once our other goals are met, we must capture or burn those little cities. Our cities must turn into war factories. Bombers will be built to pound the major Chinese cities into dust. Battleships will be built to sink the Chinese fleet of ironclads and bombard their coasts. Tanks will be built for land assaults on important targets. Artillery, infantry, and soon mech infantry will be built to defend the front lines. The Chinese and Japanese will be pounded into dust, and Babylon will dominate the world. You can join the War Cabinet for discussion in the forum. The link is below if you're interested. Just remember, these plans are confidential, and giving these plans to the enemy is treason, a crime punishable by death. So thank you for your time, everyone, and stay tuned to watch Babylon prevail.